Hey you guys, welcome back to Love for Plants. Today we're going to go over propagating my umbrella tree. We're getting our first snow today. This one's been in the house for the past couple months now since fall's here and winter's starting, and he's just not doing very well. He's in shock. He was getting a ton of humidity outside, now he's not. I've tried giving him showers, giving him water trays. He's still just dropping leaves. I didn't want to propagate him, but since he's already kind of in shock and I have nowhere to put him, everybody keeps running into him in the house, I decided tonight I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start propagating. I'm going to do a couple different techniques for propagating. We're going to do just in moss and dirt and clay and the clay rocks and just water, and then I'm going to try to air layer. I think I've only air layered something one time before, so we're going to try that as well. I was looking it over earlier trying to figure out what I wanted to cut off. Obviously this one right here that's sticking out, I'm going to cut him back. This one over here sticking out, I think I'm going to cut him in half. And then one of these I'm going to air layer, and then I got some more down in here that can get cut out. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with just the basic easy ones first. I cleaned my shears today. I call them shears. My trimmers today. When you are propagating, I've been told that an umbrella tree you can't root just off of the leaf. I have had it happen where I've got roots off of just the stick of the leaf. It took probably 3 or 4 months. And I actually gifted that to a friend. I'm not sure if it's still alive there or not. So today, instead of just doing a leaf cutting, I'm going to cut the whole branch. I cut right in between two of these down here. Now, because I'm going to put this one probably in water, I'm going to cut this one off, and I'm going to cut this one off and let the top. So just going to take my scissors, cut those off, and sticking him in a cup of water, which I already got some of this stuff started over here. So that one is done. I said I wanted to cut this big one back here. He is huge. It's so depressing because this spring he was only like this big, and now I'm cutting him, and that's not what I feel we do. We're supposed to let him grow, but he needs a cut, so I don't know where to cut him. Oh, he's thick too. Okay, gosh, I'm gonna cry when I look at that plant. Once again, I'm just gonna cut some of these bottom shoots off. That's gonna be the trunk of this tree after it roots. If you wanted to, just for fun, if you do something crazy like this, feel free to try to root these. I'm not going to do that today, but he's pretty big. He is going to go in just a container of moss only, wet moss, for right now because I have my moss soaking. I'm going to sit him in a cup by himself for the moment. I just cut off so much of my baby. This is crazy. Makes me want to cry. That's crazy. So we cut that. Starting to look a little bit more round. So you can see some of these brown leaves. I picked some of the bad ones off already, but I just cannot keep him humid enough. So, all right, I think we'll air layer this one here because he's straight up in the pot more. This one's leaning a little bit more. We'll cut this one, and I'm going to put this one in soil. So let's go ahead and get him cut. Once again, cut off the bottoms. See how deep my dish is. Cut all that off. I've already got my pot ready, and I already got this soil wet. Sometimes when you put new dry soil in, it's hard for it to retain water. You think you've soaked it, and you really haven't. And because I'm starting I want to start new roots with this soil. You want fairly wet, damp soil, or you're not going to get any growth with just dry. Not with this plant anyway. So let me get him in his pot. So he's potted now. He actually looks really nice. So if he takes off and actually roots, he'll look really good. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. I have it wrote down on a paper of when we're doing this, which is today is the 30th of November. So hopefully in a month I can show you guys the progress and show you which ones are growing the fastest. Now the air layering, and I guess I need one more cutting. Hold on. Lord. Let's see if I find one that's really just sticking out. This one's kind of sticking out just a little bit, so I'm not going to cut a ton off of him. Oh, that probably was not a good cut. I didn't get much trunk. But I'm going to put him in the clay beads. I'll fill him up a little bit more since he's not that big. I really don't like the look of that cutting. I don't have any nodes. We're just going to see what happens now that I got it cut. So I'll put some more clay beads in there and some more water, and we'll just watch and see what happens with that. I may actually take another cutting later tonight if I find something that looks good, because I'm afraid we're not going to get a good experiment out of that. We'll see. All right, air layering. I don't know that a lot of people have tried air layering. What did I do with? There it is. Air layering is where you are going to keep the plant attached. I'm not going to completely cut it off. Let me get this turned around. We're going to air layer this big branch up here. So to start, you want to pick a spot and you kind of want to get these little shoots out of the way. So I'm just going to come through here and get some of these little shoots out of the way. Hopefully you guys can see that. I got a couple inches there. Okay, then I'm going to take my knife, and you don't want to cut it all the way through. You're just going to kind of do it so that you can get the top layer of skin. And I'm going to get it where these branches, where I cut the branches off. Hopefully I'll get some roots there. Just kind of gently go around the branch in a circle. Cut into it just slightly. Like I said, I've only done this once before. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and go downward and get rid of the protective layer that the plant has. It's kind of like peeling a potato. I guess you could do it that way. Get a peeler out. And you're going to scrape all the sides off. This is where you want your roots to grow. So just scrape it off. Nice and easy. I'm going fast with that, but it's really not cutting much off. So just nice and easy. Almost done. I watch some people do this and it looks so clean and so pretty, but I guess as long as it works, it's all that matters. So I got all that cleaned off, scraped off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that one off. I'm going to take wet moss and I'm going to wrap it around this area that I just scraped. Then I'm going to cover it in saran wrap and tie that down on there. And then you don't open it again until you're ready, until the roots are all growing and you're ready to pot. So that will stay actually attached. So let me get my products out. This is like the messiest thing ever. But they say the chance of survival and propagation is better this way. So I just want to do an experiment and see, which really does grow the best and the quickest. Let's be honest, we've all taken plants and propagated them, and they end up dying on us. My struggle, the one in water, I guarantee for me, it's going to rot because everything I grow in water to propagate rots for some reason. So, pure water, I'm guessing, my guess, is it's going to rot. So I got moss down here in the water. I guess you could add some dirt to it if you wanted. I'm not wringing it out very much. You do want it to stay wet because you don't want to have to open this ever again to water. And I'm just going to get this stuff on here as good as I can. Then I'm going to take my saran wrap. And you're going to wrap it. You want this thing to be like airtight. Totally easier said than done. I know my first one, the airtight thing, didn't work that well either. But just get it as tight as you can so it holds in all that moisture from that moss. And because I've only done it one time before, I can't really tell you like what moss works best, or I can't tell you if it works better to put dirt in your moss. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe if I really get into air layering, maybe I'll try that one of these days. But for now, we're not going to do that. And then to get a tight seal, you can either tie the bottom. You want to tie the bottom of it and the top of it. I don't know that I'm going to get a tight seal if I don't use tape. So I think I am going to use some duct tape. Get that on there, and hopefully this will stay on there long enough for me to get tape on. I think I'm going to have to cut another branch off. It's just in the way. Okay. Hopefully that will stay there long enough for me to get the tape out. And I'm going to guess somebody played with my tape because I don't see my end. Sorry, you guys. Now my hands are wet too, so. Alright, I'm just going to try to get that down there. Get that taped off tightly. Because I don't want all that extra moisture coming out. So, just get it on there as tight as you can. Okay, so the bottom is done. Now I'm going to wrap this top tighter. Once again, you want it to hold all that moisture in. And then as this is getting roots, it's going to get its nutrients from the mother plant, which is why they say there's a better chance of propagation with air layering than any other layering. Now, I don't want tape all over because roots will grow, and I don't want to have to cut through the roots to get that off and get it in dirt. So that's air layering. It just looks like a big old bag on here of moss, and I kept it nice and moist, keep the moss moist, and hopefully in a couple months, I'll follow up with you guys monthly, show you progress, and maybe at the month mark I may take it off to show you if I can see anything. If not, I may let it on, we'll see. But there's that. Okay, so I have the one in water, the one in clay. I'm putting one just in moss in a cup. I got the one planted Why did I think I needed one more? I don't know. Maybe that's all I needed. So, he's not looking terrible. Of course, I cut a ton off of him. But he does look better, and maybe he'll fit upstairs a little bit more. Let's hope that grows. And then when that grows, I'll cut under it, and then you take all that off and you plant it. So there's that part. I got the one here in dirt, just regular dirt. This one I'm going to put in the rest of this moss I have down here, so let me fill that up quick. And I'm not rinsing this moss out. I'm not draining all the water out. I'm just going to pull it out and stick it in the container. I've seen a lot of people grow with just moss and they swear by it. They love it. And they get some beautiful roots, so I don't know. We'll try. We'll see what happens. The only thing I don't like about it is I have to worry about keeping it moist. And if it dries out, you know, it's not as good of a chance. So I got it full of moss. Maybe I should have stuck that in first and put the moss around it. Okay, so we'll put that in there. Put some more moss around it. Fill it up. Hope I can get this out when it actually roots. Okay, I am going to put a little more water, clean water in there with him. Really want this one supported, so we're going to put some moss up on the top too. So there's that one. This one is in moss. It looks really good. This one is in the clay. You know what? We're just going to take a new shoot because I don't think he's going to be very successful. Let's see. Okay, we'll take this one. We'll do this one. He looks better. I got more trunk to him. The only thing I hate about these clay beads is getting them in there. There's no easy way. Either putting them in first or putting them in last. It doesn't matter. You just gotta shake them around there. Okay. And there's water in that, so we'll let him grow in there. And then we got the one in just water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of propagation. Here in the next month, like I said, I'll update you guys to show you which is doing the best. And hopefully within 3 months, we'll have an end result. And hopefully that'll help you guys figure out which way to propagate that would be best for you. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. You all have a good night. Thanks for watching.